4. The worst part is how you're treated outside of dating. You can't go out in public every day without occasionally getting insulted for being bold. You have slut shaming and fat shaming, which are completely avoidable with good life choices, but bold guys are fair game. And he goes into a bit about white people, and it gets kind of weird. I kind of agree with this. Not the bit about races and being white people can't pull off the bold look and apparently they're evil. I don't know about that. I don't know where he's going. But the bit about you get treated bad outside of dating for being bold. I don't think society gives a fuck about guys losing their hair. To be honest, I've talked about this before. Like they don't. No one cares. It's the easiest thing to be. It's one of the few things you can just be the butt of the joke and no one really gives you any sensitivity. Definitely not in the way they do for like people who are overweight. You randomly do get called baldy when guys are drunk on nights out. You'll get jokes from your work colleagues. Your friends will make jokes when you start going bald the first time. It makes it hard to work through the insecurity, in my opinion, because it just fosters more and more it fosters more insecurity, and then you get down about it, and you get to the point where you can't leave the flat. That's been me at one point. I talked about how I didn't want to be in pictures as well. Like, there's tons of I'm missing a lot of pictures with my friends back at uni when it started going, and like later on, up until the last couple of years recently, where I just didn't want to be in pictures because you could see I'm the only person you could see how was like losing his hair in the pictures. It was horrible, especially like pictures where my back of my head is visible. Wasn't good. No matter what you do, boldness is irredeemable. This is number 5. You can cope by going to the gym, getting money, dressing nice, but in the end, you'll be defined as a bold guy. Not the engineer, not the Cornell graduate, I guess that's American then. Not the gym guy, but the genetic trash bold man. You can have a 6-figure salary, a nice house, a nice career, healthy, but it won't matter. The only possible redeemable quality is being over 6 foot tall. And that still requires a good head shape. Well, I think I'm over 6 foot and I think I have a good head shape. So, fucking hell. I don't know. I wouldn't know what to say to this guy, to be honest. He talks about coping. And what I say about insecurities like this, if you have any insecurity, coping is not the worst. It's not like the worst thing you could do. Coping's fine. Like you can either get over your insecurity, which takes work, takes like mental game, I guess, or you can cover it up and get around it with crutches and cover-ups. That is fine. I wore hats for like the last 2 years. You can basically go everywhere wearing a baseball cap. Completely allowed. No one's going to stop you. If you have good style and you make the caps look natural as well, no one's really going to notice. There are always ways around things. Like if you're pale, you can get a tan. Lots of guys are worried about being pale. If you're ginger, you can dye your hair. Like me, I've done ginger. I'm a ginger. What else? If you're short, you can get height increasing shoes. Loads of guys I know done that. There are ways you can cover up baldness as well that are a bit more permanent, like the tattooing the dots on your head. He talks about how like Pitbull has a shadow of his hair. If this guy's so far gone, shave your hair off and get that tattoo thing put in. There are ways to like improve always, and like focusing entirely on your weaknesses and defining yourself on it is stupid. There's a really good video by Healthy Gamer and Dr. K where he interviews an incel, basically, or a guy who doesn't have much dating success, and he talks about protective hopelessness and how guys need to get over, like they're going to have these hopelessnesses, and this is what this guy has, a hopelessness around his boldness, and then it's comfortable for them to like have no hope and be a doomer. It just is, and this hopelessness protects you from depression. Essentially, is what Dr. K says, or mostly says. I'll do the last couple of points. 6, head shape is the difference between being accepted as just a soulless person or being treated like you deserve to be put to death. What the hell? As a person that has an asymmetrical head is very off-putting with people and I automatically make people uncomfortable. How do you know, dude? They're not like throwing rubbish at you, like trying to tar and feather you. 7, you see the same argument from the same idiots who usually have hair and about the same 5 people who are hot and bold. Ever get sick of hearing the names Bruce Willis, Jason Statham, The Rock, Vin Diesel, and Patrick Stewart? Sorry? These people get by for 3 reasons. Patrick Stewart gets by by being a charismatic badass who's a great actor. That's why he gets by. The others are all just good looking. First, they are celebrities and have high social status. Yeah, bold men are generally viewed as both physically and socially attractive, so you guys get past that. Most of these guys are over 6 foot tall. I don't think Vin Diesel is. The muscle potential of the rock. He says the rock's not white, so apparently that's okay. And they all have a ton of money. Oh, yeah. The average bald person has none of those things. 8 is his biggest gripe, apparently. The same people who say it's not a big deal are also the same people who have no hair loss. Do not trust these people. They do not live the life you have and can never relate. What makes me more mad are people like my mum who will just have to say, just have to learn to live a happy life on your own. Well, your mum's right, but you're not wrong. You're not wrong not to necessarily listen to people who haven't been through the hair loss. I understand, like, people who've been through dealing with insecurities are valuable tools to listen. Sorry, are valuable sources of information to listen to on this stuff. I would listen to guys who have gone bald and worked around it and had to work through the insecurity. Everyone works through the insecurity in different ways. Some guys focus on restoration. Some guys focus on covering it up. Some guys focus on fully accepting it and moving on. Those are the way forward. He finishes up with something about eugenics, talking about the only way to get rid of baldness is through removing it from the gene pool, so women are going to choose non-bald guys. Jesus Christ. This is a lot more incel culture, I guess, than I remember when I first read it. There are still little bits I agree with. Like, he talks about how, like, I guess people don't understand. People are very insensitive about balding, and you shouldn't really listen to people who've got hair and don't understand what you're going through. Kind of all true. But a lot of it's just like super doomer hopelessness. A lot of it's just super doomer hopelessness. So I disagree with a lot of like the things you can't improve because you're short and you haven't bad head shape. Disagree with all of that. The biggest thing you can do to get around baldness is style. Like, you can cover it up with good hats. You can dress really well to accentuate what you have. That's the main one. Get in shape, obviously. You shouldn't not be in the gym just because you think you don't have good muscle potential. Bullshit. Get in the gym, do the work, improve yourself. There's a full list of things you can do just to like improve your looks. With dating, it's also a lot about the amount of girls you talk to, and like if you are not that attractive, you're gonna have to talk to a lot of girls before you find them ones that are interested in you. And that's, you increase that rate obviously, but there are still going to be girls out there. Like, this is a kind of a weird story. I met a girl at a beach rave in Sydney. Lots of fun, by the way, when they're allowed to happen again. Go and check it out. And I moved away from my friends. I was dancing somewhere else, and then this girl just turns around and goes, "Are you bald?" Like, and she's like down here. I'm like up there. And I was just like, this was back when I hadn't really accepted it. I kept my hair quite short, but it was like obviously going. And I was just like, no, I've got hair still. And she's like, oh, right. And then turns to her friend and goes, and just shouts, "I love bald men," like really loudly. And I should have been like, yeah, I'm bald, and then tried to meet her. But I was a bit timid and afraid of my insecurities and didn't want to do anything. So I let that go. She was cute as well. French, though, which is a bit of a shame, but you can't have everything. Right, I'm going to leave it there. This has been quite a long, rambly video. We've gone through... Hopefully this wasn't too depressing. I just found this really interesting. I found this on Hair Loss Talk Forum, which is an interesting place. I was basically looking for people talking about their stories and getting over the insecurities. But no, instead I found instead I found this super doomer bait article. So yeah, worth responding to though. All right, guys, peace out.